St. Helena Hospital was founded in 1878 as the Rural Health Retreat. Merritt Gardner Kellogg was a physician in the Valley, part of the family that built the famed sanitarium at Battle Creek, Michigan, where the wellness tenets of the Seventh-day Adventist faith were put into practice on a large scale. Around the same time, another Kellogg brother gained renown for the creation of perhaps the world's most famous breakfast cereal. But Dr. Merritt Kellogg's aspiration was to bring a version of the Battle Creek Sanitarium to the Napa Valley. He partnered with two other converts to the Adventist faith, Asa B. Atwood and his neighbor, William Pratt. Pratt owned 3,500 acres of land on the hillside and valley which still bears his name. At the urging of Atwood and Kellogg, Pratt willingly deeded 10 acres of hillside property to the newly formed Rural Health Retreat Association.
It is the oldest hospital in the state of California, north of San Francisco. And worldwide, there are over 600 Seventh-day Adventist health centers, and this hospital here, it's the oldest of those 600. The mission here is pretty special. The mission of our hospital is to share God's love by providing physical, mental, and spiritual healing.
By 1892, the success of the Rural Health Retreat led to the construction of a larger building as the retreat attracted patients from far beyond the neighboring town of St. Helena.
It's a small town now, but then it was even smaller. So the whole purpose was to reach communities that went far beyond our local geography. Most of them were from the San Francisco Bay Area, and they didn't feel well.
By the 1930s, patients arriving at what came to be known as the St. Helena Sanitarium and Hospital were treated like guests at an upscale spa. Many of the same treatments pioneered at Battle Creek were still in use. Modalities involving heat, electricity, water, massage, exercise, fresh air, and sunshine. Today, the Center for Health's innovative Take 10 program carries the focus on wellness into the 21st century, with an immersive 10-day program where patients experience dramatic, measurable changes in key health markers and find themselves on a path to lives freed from smoking, diabetes, obesity, and numerous other lifestyle illnesses.
Our vision at St. Helena Hospital is to be the destination of choice for all who seek to live younger, longer. Today, like when we started, we put a great emphasis on lifestyle medicine through our Center for Health.
In addition to our wellness programs, we have state-of-the-art technology that lets us offer sophisticated treatments in cardiac and orthopedic care that draw patients from all over the Western United States and beyond.
The reason this rural hospital continues to attract patients from well beyond the valley it serves has a lot to do with what that valley has become in the past century. The view from the hospital has always been one of its greatest assets. Today, that view remains unspoiled, but in place of fruit trees and row crops, vineyards now dominate the landscape. As one of the world's premier wine-growing regions, the Napa Valley has attracted an affluent and well-traveled population.
We have a sophisticated community of people who live here and those who visit here, and they expect excellence. And we have a strong tradition of excellence, and our community partners with us to make sure that we have the tools we need to maintain that level of excellence now and as we develop programs going into the future.
I think it's really a testament to the community that they realize the value in having a world-class hospital in the north end of Napa Valley. That has caused them to really support the hospital in every way imaginable, whether it's philanthropically, whether it's with their time, whether it's all the volunteers that help the patients on a day-to-day basis in the hospital. It really is just a tremendous outpouring of support in both directions, from the hospital to the community and the community back to the hospital.
It was philanthropy that let us have this hospital in 1878, and on this very day, it is still philanthropy that gives us excellence. It's the generosity of our friends, our community members, our patients that come into this hospital, they make such a big difference.
In 2012, St. Helena Hospital was honored by the National Research Corporation's Picker Institute with the Path to Excellence Award, earning it the designation Top in the West. People have many reasons to support the continuing excellence of St. Helena Hospital, but doubtless some of the most heartfelt gifts have come from those who have experienced the healing and life-saving capabilities of the hospital firsthand. In the fall of 2010, St. Helena resident Ken Weeman and his wife drove to the emergency room as Ken experienced the symptoms of a heart attack.
Dr. Look was the doctor on call that night, and he was explaining to both of us that Ken had suffered a rather significant heart attack.
We were talking, all of a sudden, Ken's eyes fluttered, and he stopped talking to us.
At which point the nurse said, "He's coding."
So we sprung into what's called a code blue situation.
And they ushered me out of the room. So I was just standing outside, frantically wondering, what was going on. And I heard the nurses saying, we have no pulse, doctor, 1, 2, 3. We have no pulse, doctor. And this just kept going on and on.
Once we had him intubated and we were starting CPR, we were waiting for his heart to kick back in, and I was utterly amazed that it didn't immediately kick right back.
And all of a sudden I felt this gentle hand on my shoulder, and I was in such anguish, and she said, "It's all right, it's all right." And I said, "No, it's not all right. I was just talking to my husband, and now he's dead. They have no pulse. This is terrible." She said, "No, it's all right. It's going to be all right."
When someone so quickly goes into an unstable heart pattern, the medications at our disposal, we can usually, get that heart working again. So I knew we had a running chance. I knew that we had good oxygenation going on. I knew we had good circulation going on with the CPR. So we stuck to it.
They kept going on, and about 10 minutes went by.
Fortunately, right after one of the shocks, we saw the heartbeat come back as it should be. Sort of classic right out of Hollywood on the monitor.
I thought it was a nurse that had been soothing and comforting me, and as I sort of gathered my wits about me, I looked around and I noticed this woman that had been so gentle and kind had on a purple, burgundy sort of scrubs outfit, and she was actually the cleaning lady. And it just touched my heart so, because it just was like another human being noticing you're in such anguish and just being there for you. And
Maria, our housekeeper, had helped her, and it's a team approach here, and everybody was sort of not only helping Catherine, but also quickly moving with Ken to make sure that things weren't slowing down and being as fluid as possible.
My understanding, I've heard from many others, that customarily ER teams don't go that long in attempting to resuscitate. After 4 or 5 minutes, it's generally the end of the case.
I think you just know, it's part of the art of medicine, is you know when to stop and when to continue. And that was, I think all of us knew. I would have been prepared to work on Ken a lot longer than I even had to.
I just thanked him for the ER team's perseverance and really not giving up on me. They saved me.
In 2011, out of gratitude for the life-saving care he received, Ken Weeman and his family gave a significant gift to the hospital. In recognition of that, the emergency department at St. Helena Hospital now bears his name. It's safe to say that were Dr. Merritt Kellogg or any of the early staff of the Rural Health Retreat to walk through the doors of the institution they founded, they would hardly recognize many of the machines and procedures in use today. What they would immediately recognize, however, is the spirit of the place, the passion of the people who work there, and the overarching mission of the hospital to provide nurture and healing for the whole person.
If you're here for the best in health, we are here for you. In fact, we are here for all who seek to live younger longer.